Hi, and welcome to the LesParis.com podcast. I'm Les. This podcast is a short daily monologue that you can listen to. Use it to practice listening to English. Use it to stimulate ideas. Use it for BGM.
Hello and welcome to the Les Paris podcast. You're about to listen to episode 183. Yesterday in episode 182 I talked about astronauts, and today you can listen about novels in episode 183. Novels. Do you like to read novels? When I was young, I sure liked to read novels. Not every novel, but there was a lot that I did read, and I really enjoyed them. What is a novel? Well, I don't know exactly, and I usually say, I didn't do special research here, but I did check a little bit about novels, and I found out that, number one, they are fiction. They can be based on fact, they can be based on a true story, but they've been fictionalized. They're not true. Number two, there's a certain length that they have to have, although I couldn't find any place that said exactly what that length is. If they're too short, it's not a novel, it's a novella. And I don't know about it being too long. Nobody wrote one that was too long as far as I know. The first novel that was written, when was that? There's a number of different suggestions for the first novel. The most common suggestion that I came across was The Tales of Genji, which was written by a Japanese woman about 1,000 years ago. There were other books written a long time ago. There was one that came from Greece almost 2,000 years ago. I forgot the name of it. It was kind of obscure. Some people say that was a novel, but other people disagreed with that. There's several, shall we say, candidates for the first novel, but let's just go with Tales of Genji, because it really was a story, and it was written down in one sort of unit, and it's fiction, and on top of that, it was written by a woman, so it was definitely the very first woman-written novel. Do you like to read novels? I love reading, or I used to love reading, pulp fiction. There's a story about Jason Bourne. The Bourne Identity was the first story. After that, there was a whole bunch of books in the series. When I got to about book 7, I realized they were all minor variations of the same thing. That's what pulp fiction is. They change the small details of the plot, but the general outline or structure of the story is the same. And I actually got tired of pulp fiction, but a lot of people still love that stuff. There's a lot of Western novels and mystery novels that are all pulp fiction. And then there's the true great literary novels, but I'll leave that for another day. That brings us to the end of another episode of the Les Paris podcast. Today's episode, 183, was about novels. You can find more excellent, extensive listening practice tomorrow in episode 184, which is about podcasts.